All right. Welcome. My name's Antu, she, her pronouns, and I am so happy to be here with you. We've got a great flow planned ahead of us. It's going to kind of get into the entire body, but also give you time and space to let go of the day, at least half the day, and begin to reconnect with your body and hopefully give you a little boost of energy to continue on with whatever lies ahead of you the rest of today. All right. What you'll need for our practice are a yoga mat, if you've got one. If you don't, you can always come onto kind of a padded soft carpet. You can even do this on the ground if you'd like, but having a little bit of extra padding always helps. And I do suggest 2 blocks for today. If you don't have blocks, you can always use a couple of big books if you've got them. For today's practice, you could also use a water bottle. We're really going to just use these blocks as a place to kind of place our hands, feel out in space, help lift the body, raise the ground up to us at different points throughout the practice. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Take your blocks, water bottles, books, whatever you've got handy, go ahead and place them out near the top of your mat. Okay. And we're going to begin actually in an easy seat. So you can sit cross-legged, or you can sit up onto your shins. You can sit up onto blocks, blankets, whatever helps you feel comfortable. Yeah, you can place your hands right onto the knees, the thighs, but begin to settle into the space. So you might roll your shoulders down and away from the ears, flutter out the lips, release the jaw. Yeah. And begin to take a scan of your body here. So you might notice the soles of the feet and wiggle the toes and just soften them. See if you're carrying any tension there. And go ahead and notice your sits bones grounding down beneath you. And just let them melt down into the earth below. Let your hips be heavy. You might even just move your hands alongside your thighs for just a moment. Kind of bring a little bit of circulation, a little bit of movement there into the hands, into the arms. Letting the legs be heavy, letting them melt down and away from you. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes. And then as you breathe in, deepen the breath all the way down into your low belly. Feel that part of your body expand. And then as you breathe out, you can open mouth, sigh it out. Take another deep breath in here, all the way down into the low belly. And exhale, sigh it out, open mouth. Let's do another one of those. Deep breath in here. And exhale a big sigh out. Yeah. As you breathe in this time, breathe in through the nose. Follow that breath down past the heart, all the way down into your belly. And then as you breathe out, follow the air back up and out, but breathe out through the nose. Follow the air out past the heart into the air. Take another deep breath in here. You might lift your shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale, breathe in on out as you drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Yeah. Take another deep breath in, rolling shoulders up, 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 up towards the ears. And exhale, sigh it out and drop the shoulders down and away from your ears. Another big breath in here, rolling shoulders up, up, up towards the ears. Maybe scrunch the face and exhale, release and sigh it out. Drop those shoulders. This time as you breathe in, we're going to reach our arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to side bend over to the right. Go ahead and drop that right arm down. Reach the left arm up and overhead. Yeah. See if you can continue to ground down through the left sitting bone. And then extend that left arm long overhead. You've been sitting all day already. This is an opportunity to just bring a little movement into the spine. Yeah. Let's take another breath in here, opening up through the left side body. And another breath out, maybe dropping down a little deeper. On the next inhale, come back up overhead, arms reach up, and exhale, side bend over to the left this time. Go ahead and bring that left arm down and reach your right arm up and overhead. Yeah. Breathing in here, ground down through the right sitting bone. And as you breathe out, see if you can just melt into this delicious stretch. Take another breath in here, expanding into the right side body. And exhale, maybe melting down a little closer towards the earth below you. And the next in-breath, we're going to reach our arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, flip your palms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to round through the back. Press your palms forward, tuck your chin into your chest. And inhale, reach back up overhead. And exhale, round through the back. Again, tuck your chin into your chest, press the air out, press your palms forward. Take another breath in here, stretching arms up, up, up. And exhale, round through the back. Pressing the air out, draw your navel in towards your spine. On the next in-breath, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, release your hands back down beside you. Okay, let's come into cat-cow. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And see if you can stack your shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Take a few wiggles here, just settling into the shape. Nice. And on the in-breath, you're going to drop the belly and press the heart forward as your tailbone lifts up. And then as you exhale, we're going to round through the back. So lift up the rib cage. You might even tuck your chin into your chest here. And breathing in, belly drops. Go ahead and look on forward. Tailbone lifts up as well. And then as you exhale, go ahead and round again through the back, opening up between the shoulder blades, pressing the earth away. And breathing in, drop the belly and press your heart forward. Tailbone lifts up and maybe just a little further back. And then as you exhale, again, round through the back. Press down through both palms. Tuck your tailbone underneath you and tuck chin into chest. On the next inhale, we'll meet in a neutral spine. All right, exhale here. As you breathe in, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, thread that right arm all the way through underneath you. Bring your right shoulder down, bring your right temple down, and then you might walk the left palm forward towards the top of the mat here. Breathing into the middle of the back. And then as you breathe out, you might just open up through the left side a little more. Keep your tailbone lifted up, breathing in. And breathing out. Let your head be heavy. No need to hold any tension there. Okay. Let's take one more breath in. You're welcome to take a bind here, hooking that left hand into the right hip crease. And take another breath out. And gently release the bind. If you've got it, press left palm in underneath the shoulder. Lift the right arm up as you breathe in. And then exhale, right hand comes back down to the mat. Other side. Breathing in, left arm reaches up. And then as you exhale, go ahead and thread that left arm all the way through underneath you. You're going to bring your left shoulder down and your left temple comes down. And from here, you can crawl that right palm forward towards the top of the mat. Pressing down on the palm to open up through the mid-back. And then as you exhale, just melt into the shape. Release any tension in the jaw. Let your head be heavy. Good. Take another breath in. You might take that bind here, hooking right hand into left hip crease. And then exhale. Let go and let be. Gently release that bind. Let's go ahead and bring right hand underneath the shoulder. Press down on the right palm. As you breathe in, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, left hand comes back down to the earth. All right, we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Go ahead and tuck your toes, push your seats back and up for your downward facing dog. Breathing in here, extend the length of the spine. And as you breathe out, let the head just be heavy. You might shake out the head. You can flutter out the lips. You can also bend into one knee and then the other. We're just waking up the backs of the legs here. Also opening up through the shoulders. On every in-breath, see if you can extend the spine longer. And as you exhale, maybe the heels melt a little closer towards your mat. Inhaling here into the backs of the legs. And exhale, let the head just hang heavy. Breathing in, draw in the low ribs. That'll help lengthen the spine. And as you breathe out, and just melt into the shape. It can feel really nice to bend deeply into both knees, reaching sits bones up and back, and then begin to extend your legs long as you continue to keep the length in your spine. Good. Let's take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, soften your knees, look between the hands, and on the in-breath, walk your feet up to your wrists. Go ahead and grab onto opposite elbows. Keep a bend in both knees, and exhale, just sway here from side to side. You can take a few bounces up and down, up and down. You really want to release the back of the neck here. So you can nod or shake the head. You can bend into one knee, bend into the other. Let the weight of your forearms just help you release the entire spine down towards the earth. So back of the neck releases, upper shoulders release, mid-back releases. You can even bend deeply into both knees and maybe your belly rests onto your thighs. And your low back can release too. And gently release the elbows, engage the back line of your legs, and begin to roll up to stand, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice. Once you reach the top, you might roll your shoulders down and away from the ears. Let's take our palms behind us, press them together, interlace the fingers. As you breathe in, puff up your chest, tuck chin in chest, and begin to lift your arms away from you. Breathing in here to maybe lift the arms a little more. Breathing out, keeping that pelvis in line with the rib cage. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling to lift a little more and exhaling here. Good. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, release your arms out from behind you. As you breathe in, reach your arms up overhead, interlace the fingers. And then as you exhale, something over to the left as your hips bump over to the right. Breathing in, come back to center. And exhale, side bend right, hips bump left. Good. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, side bend left, hips bump right. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Tall spine, exhale, side bend right, hips bump left. Keep your arms alongside your ears. As you breathe in, come back to center. And as you exhale, take your hands, interlace them behind the base of your skull. Your elbows are out wide. And on the in-breath, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, gently arch back. One. On the next exhale, you might arch back just a little more. Take a breath in here, grounding down through the heels, pressing hips forward. And then as you exhale, gently arch back one more time. As you breathe in, come back to center. And as you exhale, wrap your elbows around your head, tuck your chin into your chest, and breathe into the back of the neck here. And then as you exhale, round forward a little more. Bring your nose in line with your chest. Inhale, space into the upper shoulders. And exhale, round forward. Bring your forehead in line with your sternum. Inhale here between the shoulder blades. And exhale, round forward. Bring your forehead in line with the upper belly. As you breathe in, expand it to the rib cage. And as you exhale, round forward, bring your forehead in line with your belly button. Inhaling here into the low ribs. And exhale, round forward, bring your forehead in line with your hips. And as you breathe in this time, expand into the mid-back. And then exhale, round forward, bring your forehead in line with the middle of your thighs. Inhaling here into the low back. And exhale, round forward, bring your forehead in line with your knees. And on the in-breath here, see if you can expand across the entire back body. And then as you exhale, see if you can bend your knees and touch your forehead to your knees. On the in-breath, we're going to open the elbows out wide, lift the torso. And as you exhale, see if you can sit your seat down a little lower. And then on the in-breath, press into the feet to rise up. And as you exhale, soften your shoulders. Keep your hands where they are. As you breathe in, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, gently arch back one more time. Hips press forward. And on the in-breath, come back to center. And as you exhale, release your hands back down beside you for Tadasana. And we will go ahead and set an intention for our practice today. So you might rest your arms alongside the body. Maybe they rest over the heart, or maybe they come to a prayer at heart center. But find what feels most true for you. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes. Think about what brought you to your mat today. I offer up the intention of gratitude, feeling appreciation for every breath we get to take, appreciation for our loved ones, our communities, appreciation for this time we get to share with one another. We'll seal in our intentions with the sound of Om. Breathing in here. You can release your hands down beside you if they're not there already, and flutter your eyes open. All right. We're going to meet near the tops of our mats. You can bring your big toes to touch, or you can rest your feet hips width distance apart, but find what feels good in your hips and your body. And then anchor down through the heels, draw up through the inner arches, lift your navel up just a touch, and soften your shoulders. We can move through our sun salutation. As you breathe in, reach your arms up overhead, maybe gaze up past the thumbs. And as you exhale, go ahead and fold forward, Uttanasana. On the in-breath, come into a half lift, long spine. And then as you exhale, you can step on back into a plank. Take a breath in here, hug in the outer core. And then as you exhale, bring knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. As your tailbone's lifted, on the in-breath, come forward and up for your cobra. Hug your elbows into the midline. Shoulders roll down and away from the ears as your legs zip up against one another. And then tuck your toes, push your seat back and up on the exhale for a downward facing dog. Breathing in here and breathing out. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in, lift shoulders up and away from your ears. And exhale, let that head hang heavy again. And breathing into the backs of the legs. And breathing out, letting the heels melt down a little closer towards the earth. Take another big breath in here. As you exhale, soften the knees, look between the hands, and as you breathe in, you can step on up to your hands, come into that half lift, long spine. And then as you exhale, go ahead and melt forward, Uttanasana. And as you breathe in, reach your arms all the way back up overhead, maybe gaze up past the thumbs, and then exhale, release hands back down beside you for Tadasana. That's one version. As you breathe in, reach your arms up overhead. We'll walk through another. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, come into that half lift. Long spine, navel draws in. And then exhale, step or jump back. Take a flow, breathing in for plank. On the in-breath, come into your upward facing dog or cobra. As you exhale, we meet back in downward facing dog. Breathing in here. And breathing out. Good. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. And exhaling, melting into the shape. So you can take knees, chest, chin, and cobra for your vinyasas, or you can do what we just did, coming in through Chaturanga Dandasana and up into upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog. On the next exhale, we're going to soften the knees, look between the hands, and as you breathe in, you can step or jump up to your hands for that half lift, long spine. And then exhale, go ahead and fold on forward. And as you breathe in, reach your arms all the way back up overhead. Anchor down through the heels as you do so, and exhale, release hands back down beside you. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. On the in-breath, half lift, long spine. And then exhale, take your flow. Breathing in for a plank. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. On the in-breath, come into your cobra or upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, we meet back, downward facing dog. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. And you want to ground down through the knuckle of the thumb and the index finger. And lift those sits bones up and away. Draw on the low ribs. And melt the heels a little closer towards the earth. Take one more breath in. Then as you exhale, soften the knees, look between the hands. As you breathe in, step or jump up to your hands for that half lift. And then exhale, go ahead and melt on forward, Uttanasana. And as you breathe in, reach your arms all the way back up overhead, gazing up past the thumbs. And exhale, release hands back down beside you, Tadasana. This time as you breathe in, we're gonna hook our thumbs in front of us, reach forward up and arch back. And then exhale, bend the knees, swing the arms behind you, interlace fingers, arms and legs extend long. On the in-breath, release the hands, place them by the feet, bring that right foot back for a lunge. Look up. And exhale, left foot comes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. And as you breathe in, roll forward into your plank. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. On the in-breath, come into your upward facing dog. Thighs are active and lifted. And exhale, we meet back, downward facing dog. And on the in-breath, we're gonna roll forward into that plank. And exhale, this time bring knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. And on the in-breath, come forward and up for your cobra. Elbows hug in. And exhale, tuck your toes, push your seat back and up, downward facing dog. And as you breathe in, bring that right foot forward between the hands, look up. And exhale, left foot comes forward to meet the right, bow down, Uttanasana. And as you breathe in, bend your knees, hook thumbs in front of you, reach forward up, extend the legs long and arch back. And exhale, bend knees, swing arms behind you, interlace fingers, arms and legs extend. On the in-breath, release the hands, place them down by the feet, bring that left foot back for a lunge. And exhale, right foot comes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, roll forward into that plank. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. On the in-breath, come forward and up for your upward facing dog. And exhale, we meet back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, we're gonna roll forward into that plank. Then exhale, this time bring your knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. On the in-breath, come forward and up for your cobra. Shoulders roll down and away from the ears. And exhale, tuck your toes, push your seat back and up, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, let's bring that left foot forward between the hands, looking up. And exhale, right foot comes forward to meet the left, bow down, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, bend knees, hook thumbs in front of you, reach forward up, extend the legs long and arch back. Exhale, release your hands down beside you for Tadasana. As you breathe in, we're gonna come into that chair pose. And exhale, fold forward. On the in-breath, half lift, long spine. And then exhale, step or jump back, take your flow, breathing in for a plank. And breathing out, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. On the in-breath, come into your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, we meet back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, we're gonna bring that right foot forward between the hands, melt the left heel down, warrior one to rise up. And exhale to stay. Good, breathing in here and breathing out. See if you can square your hips to the top of the mat here. You might adjust your stance, shortening that stance, bringing the back foot in a little closer, a little wider. Go and reach your arms up overhead. Breathing in and breathing out, sitting low. Take another breath in. As you exhale, open up for your warrior two. As you breathe in, extend that right leg straight. And exhale, reach right arm towards the top of the mat. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Inhaling here. And exhaling, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathing in, melting that right hip back. And breathing out. You can rest that right hand on your shin, your thigh. You can grab one for the big toe. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Take one more breath in. And one more breath out. The next in-breath, look down at the right foot. Press down into both feet to rise up. And then exhale, rebend that right knee for warrior two. Breathing in here. And breathing out. You can adjust your stance, maybe widen it, shorten it. Find what feels good in your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Really let that right hip just be heavy. Sit down into it. Feel as if you've got a chair underneath it. Take one more breath in. And one more breath out. On the next inhale, we're going to extend that right leg straight. Exhale, rebend the right knee. Bring your right hand to the outside of the right foot. And as you breathe in, sweep that left arm alongside your ear towards the top of the mat. You could take a block and place it underneath your right hand at any height that feels good for you. highest, middle, lowest setting. Yeah. Wherever you are, see if you can bend a little more into that front knee. Tuck that right hip underneath you and see if you can open the heart up towards the ceiling. Soften that right shoulder. Take one more breath in. And one more breath out. On the next in-breath, we're going to bring that left hand down to frame the front foot. Exhale, come onto the toes of the back foot. Breathing in, we're going to extend that right leg straight. And as you exhale, you can walk that left foot in a few inches, coming into our pyramid pose. On the in-breath, lengthen the spine. Hands might come onto blocks. And then as you exhale, we're going to melt our heart over the right knee. Parsvottanasana. Breathing in here. And breathing out. See if you can melt that right hip back in space. And on every exhale, see if you can just let your head hang heavy. Yep. Relax the shoulders. On every in-breath, press down a little more into the big toe of the right foot. And then as you exhale, shift that right hip further back. Lift up the kneecap so you're engaging the right quads here and you're bringing more weight into the left foot. One more breath in. And one more breath out. On the next inhale, we're going to bend into that front knee. Hands come down to frame the front foot. And exhale, step on back, downward facing dog. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to bring that left foot forward. Right heel down, warrior one on the other side. Exhale to stay. Good. Breathing in, squaring hips to the top of the mat. And as you breathe out, settle into the shape. Yeah. Inhaling, lifting up out of the pelvis. And exhaling, sitting low into that front knee. Yeah. See if you can keep your arms alongside your ears, even as you continue to soften the shoulders. Melt that right hip forward, left hip back. On the next exhale, we're going to open out for warrior two. Goodness, we won't be here too long. As you breathe in, extend that left leg straight. And then exhale, reach left arm towards the top of the mat. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. Trikonasana. Breathing in here. And breathing out. And see if you can ground down into the big toe of the left foot. Melt that left hip further back in space and shift a little more weight into the back foot. Yeah, breathing in here, long spine. And breathing out. Maybe turning the navel up towards the ceiling just a little more. Yeah. Now your left hand can come to the shin, the thigh, onto a block, or even grab onto the big toe. You've got options. Good. On the next inhale, look down at the left foot. Press down into both feet to rise back up. And then exhale, re-bend that left knee for your warrior two. And you might adjust your stance here. I often need to widen my stance. Breathing in, draw in the low ribs. And then as you breathe out, sit low into that front knee. And you want to check in with that left knee. It likes to collapse inward. So engage the outer left thigh to open that knee out in line with the toes as they point forward towards the top of the mat. Inhaling here. Shoulders stack over hips. And as you breathe out, sit low into that front knee. Good. One more breath in. And one more breath out. On the next inhale, we're going to extend that left leg straight. And then exhale, rebend your left knee. Bring left hand to the outside of the left foot. As you breathe in, sweep the right arm alongside your ear. And breathe out to stay. Good. Now you might take a block underneath that left hand. You don't have to. But wherever you are, oftentimes that left hip likes to open out to the left, and then your torso sort of leans forward. So what you want to do is tuck that left hip down and underneath you as you open your heart up towards the ceiling. Yeah. Soften that left shoulder, bend a little more into that left knee. And feel a line of energy extend from the outer right edge of the foot back behind you all the way out through the right fingertips. Let's go ahead and bring that right hand down to frame the front foot. Go ahead and come onto the toes of the back foot. As you breathe in, extend the left leg straight, and exhale, walk the back foot in a few inches. Pyramid pose. Hands might come onto blocks as you breathe in, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, melt your heart over the left knee this time. Breathing in here and breathing out. As So you breathe in, press down into the big toe of the left foot. And then as you breathe out, engage the quad, lift the kneecap up and exhale. Yep. Let the head hang heavy, soften the shoulders. Breathing in, shift a little more weight into the back foot. And breathing out, melt that left hip further back in space. You can shake out the head here, flutter out the lips. On the next inhale, we're going to bend into that front knee. Exhale, bring hands down to frame the front foot and step back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, we're going to roll forward into that plank. And then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees, chest, chin. And on the in-breath, come forward and up for your upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, we meet back, downward facing dog. And good. As you breathe in, let's go ahead and bring that right foot forward. Left heel is lifted, high crescent, arms reach forward and up. And exhale to stay here. Yeah, take another breath in, lifting up out of the pelvis. And another breath out to sit low. On the next inhale, extend that right leg straight. And then exhale, rebend the right knee. Good. Inhale to extend the right leg. And exhale, rebend the knee. Inhale to extend it once more. And exhale, rebend the knee, sit low. Then begin to tilt forward, forward, forward. Bring weight into the right foot. Lift up that back leg. You're coming to your warrior three. So you might flex the back foot or point the toes. Arms can fly out in front alongside your body or to a prayer at heart center. You've got a few options. It can also come down onto blocks if you need. Yeah, or those books or water bottle, whatever you've got at home there. Yeah. Keep that back foot nice and strong. Draw in the navel. Knit shoulder blades together. And then we're going to go ahead and bring hands down to the earth, coming into standing splits. So you can bring your hands down to the mat, or you can bring them down to blocks. Lifting up that back leg. Yeah, ground down through the bottom heel. Let the head be heavy. Yeah, breathing in. And breathing out. Take another breath in here to lift up that back leg. And then as you exhale, bend the left knee, tuck it behind the right for a half curtsy. Yeah, inhale, back up, standing splits. And exhale, half curtsy. Breathing in, back up, standing splits. And exhale, half curtsy. And this time you're going to bring that left knee all the way down to the outside of the right foot. Your hips are going to come down for a seat. Yeah. On the in-breath, you're going to lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Right arm is behind you. And exhale, twist over to your right. You can hook that left elbow outside of your right knee like this. Or you can hug that knee into your chest. And that right arm is behind you, helping to lengthen the spine. Yeah. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale again, lengthen up through the spine. And exhale, maybe look over that right shoulder. Breathing in, grounding down through both hip points. And breathing out. If your right hip is popping up, you can always extend the left leg straight. And that can allow you to just have both hip points anchoring down as you deepen into the twist. All right, on the next inhale, we're going to come back to center. And then as you exhale, we're going to do an easy counter twist to the other side. Just turn to the other side. As you breathe in, come back to center. And then as you exhale, we're going to take our left shin, parallel that to the top of the mat, flex that left foot, and exhale, stack that right shin on top of the left. Yeah, as you breathe in, lengthen the spine, flex both feet, and exhale, begin to melt forward, forward, forward. Agni Stambhasana. Now, this is too much in the knees. You can always extend that left leg straight. And then you can also pad the right knee with a block, or again, that water bottle or books, kind of taking that block, placing it right underneath the hip. So you've got that leg supported even as you continue to melt forward. You can also stay upright, pressing hands down alongside hip bones, breathing into the hips here, and breathing out, letting go of any tension, any tightness, any sensation that's coming up for you. Inhaling and exhaling, softening their shoulders. They often like to scrunch up. Yeah, breathing in here. Steady the heart. And as you breathe out, soften the muscles of your face, relax the jaw. Good. And then gently release. Go ahead and move props out and away. Swing that right leg behind you. Tuck back for a downward facing dog. As you breathe in, we're going to roll forward into a plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. On the in-breath, come forward and up for your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, we meet back in downward facing dog. All right, as you breathe in, bring that left foot forward, right heel's lifted, high crescent. Inhale to rise up and exhale to stay. Good, inhaling here and exhaling. The next in-breath, extend that left leg straight, and then exhale, rebend the left knee. Inhale to extend that left leg, and exhale, rebend that left knee. Inhale to extend it once more. And exhale, rebend the left knee, sit low. Begin to tilt your torso forward, forward. Weight into the left foot, fly that right leg long behind you, warrior three. Arms can reach out in front, again, alongside the body, or to prayer at heart center, or maybe they come down onto blocks. You've got options here, yeah. Wherever you are, you want to draw the navel in towards your spine, knit shoulder blades together. Crown of the head reaches long towards the top of the mat, even as that back heel presses out behind you. Yeah. Take another breath in and another breath out. And let's go ahead and come to our standing splits. Hands can come down onto props or the mats. Let the head hang heavy and lift that right leg up behind you. Breathing in here and breathing out. Inhaling, grounding down through the left heel. And exhaling, softening your shoulders, shaking out the head. Take one more breath in here, lift up that back leg a little more. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee and tuck it behind the left for a half curtsy. And both knees bend. Inhale, lift back up, standing splits. Extend both legs and exhale, rebend, half curtsy. Inhale, back up, standing splits. And then exhale, half curtsy. This time we're going to bring that right knee all the way down to the outside of the left foot, and your hips come down for a seat. Yeah, as you breathe in, reach right arm up towards the ceiling. Left arm is behind you, and exhale, twist over to your left this time. Inhaling, grounding down through both hip points. And exhaling, maybe deepening the twist. Breathing in, lift up from your navel, mid-back, upper back. And exhale, maybe look over that left shoulder. Yeah. And again, you can always extend that bottom leg straight if you notice that your left hip is rising up in this pose. We want a really steady and strong seat, so modify as you need. Yeah, and then on the next in-breath, come back to center. And as you exhale, easy counter twist to the other side, just turning around. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, we're going to take that right shin this time, parallel that to the top of the mat, flex the foot, and see if you can stack your left shin on top of the right. As you breathe in, move flesh out and away from your sits bones, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, draw navel in towards your spine. Begin to melt forward, 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 extending the heart, maybe past the shins. This is a strong hip opener, so if you need, you can always extend that bottom leg straight. Yeah. You can always pad that left knee, left thigh with a block, blanket, pillows, whatever you've got. Breathing in, breathe space into sensation. And as you breathe out, see if you can soften some part of the body. So it might be the shoulders, it might be your jaw, it might be the space between your eyebrows, it might be your belly. You might notice that left hip melts just a little bit more into the shape. Take one more breath in here. And one more breath out. Yeah, and then gently move props out and away. As you breathe in, open your legs out to a letter V. 90 degrees is about all you need, nothing more. Flex the feet, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, begin to melt forward, forward, forward. Upavista Konasana. Breathing in here into the backs of both legs. And then as you breathe out, draw your navel in towards the spine and see if you can extend your heart a little further forward. Yeah, and it might feel nice to sit up onto blanket, pillows, or blocks here just to elevate the hips. That'll allow a more natural tilt of the pelvis, so you might be able to deepen into the pose a little more. Breathing in, continue to flex the feet, and breathing out. Soften the upper back, the shoulders, and soften the belly. On the next in-breath, begin to rise back up, cross the ankles, and exhale, roll forward onto hands and knees and tuck back for a downward facing dog. Good. And as you breathe in, look between the hands, roll forward into a plank. And as you exhale, we're going to bring our knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. And then on the in-breath, come forward and up for a cobra. Hug elbows in. And exhale, come all the way down into your bellies. Let's go ahead and flip over onto our backs, setting up for a bridge pose. So place your heels pretty close to the hips. Yeah, maybe your fingertips brush the backs of your heels. And then on the in-breath, begin to lift up the low back, mid back, upper back, up off of the mat. And exhale, you might take your hands underneath you, interlace the fingers, and walk the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale to lift up. And exhale to stay. Good. Take another breath in. And another breath out. Last breath in here. And exhale, release your arms out from underneath you. Slowly roll down, upper, middle, and lower back. Come down. Hug your knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Big hug here. Appreciating everything that our bodies do for us. And you're welcome to come into a happy baby here. So you can grab onto the outside edges of the feet or the big toes. You might extend one leg long, other leg long. Yeah, you can flutter out the lips. You can rock out from side to side. Good. So a little mini flow just to give you a bit of a reset in the middle of your day. As you're ready, you might begin to settle into your Shavasana. You can extend your legs long and away from you. You can rest your arms out far away from the body, or maybe one hand rests on the belly, other hand rests on the heart. And if you want, you can also bring soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Knees bent, creating a diamond shape. You can pad the knees with blocks or blankets. Come into a resting position here, your Shavasana. I'll call you out in a few moments. But begin to let your body rest. As thoughts come in and out of your mind, let them go and savor these moments here. As best you can, see if you can soften the body, clear the mind for just a few moments. Soften the soles of the feet, soften the ankles. Relax the backs of your knees, your thighs, and let your hips be heavy. Notice the rise and fall of your belly with every breath. Let the shoulders be soft. Relax the backs of your arms. Relax your jaw. Release the tongue. Soften your cheekbones, your eyebrows. Soften the temples and the forehead. And just let the back of your head melt a little deeper down into the mat, into the earth beneath you. And just rest. Begin to come back to the body and come back to the breath. Bring a little movement back into your limbs, wiggling toes, fingers, rolling out wrists and ankles, deepening the breath. Maybe turning the head to one side and then the other. Yeah. You can draw your knees in, roll onto one side, Gently press up to a seat. We'll meet in a comfortable seat and we'll close our practice with the sound of Om. You can bring your hands to heart center. You can rest them on your knees. Breathing out here. Breathing in for Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Take care.